Right, we've looked at drivers, we've looked at irons, we've looked at everything from Callaway this year. Now it's time to look at the fairways. Callaway Paradym fairway lineup is probably one of the most hotly anticipated fairway lineups that we've been waiting to come out. They are now on shelf, they're now available in store, and I'm here at Concept Golf to go through the ins and outs of different heads, what's on offer, and what we can look forward to this season. Mark O'Mahony.
Yeah, I think the fairways for me, from what Callaway are offering in the Paradym range, is pretty outstanding from an energy point of view. A lot of speed, which is a good thing in some cases, but also you got to marry that into situations of when the player is using it. It's not just good all the time. So delving into kind of what's making this
tech-wise, let's boil it down tech-wise.
Work,
what are we seeing?
so to speak, yeah.
It's not an all-carbon head like the driver. Obviously, it's such a small that it's impossible to do that. There is a carbon crown on it. Looking down on these, they're very shallow. They're a real workable game. Like, you just want to smack this.
Definitely, and I think in the past their face construction would have been deeper.
Yeah.
So they've gone down a whole different avenue, and that's down to the ability of shifting this AI technology into what they call a bat wing structure. So that,
you'll hear that again, bat wing.
that pushes the weight to the perimeter, and ultimately gives just a stronger body, and then that allows that extra energy. So that shallow face is going to be really, really good and versatile off the tee or off the ground. So that's again aiding them with that extra energy.
There are different heads available in this, like the driver. You have your standard Paradym, your Paradym X, and your triple diamond. Just briefly go through what the differences are in each. Yeah,
so they'll have very different profiles, similar to the driver options. Your triple diamond is again not going to have a lead line or an aim line on the crown. It's going to be very kind of straight looking, quite open if anything, for that workability. Again, the weight support is going to be behind the face, and to be fair, like it is going to offer a lot of workability. The Paradym itself is going to me, is going to have probably the best performance output for a couple of reasons. I love the shallowness of the face, number one, but there's also a membrane across the face that they've added in, which I feel for off the ground shots or in moist conditions, that ball is going to act ultimately the same and more consistent off the face. So it's only going to enhance your performance and playability. And then the Paradym X, again, is going to offer that forgiveness for a player who may have varied range of fairways and ultimate lofts in the bag. So I think it's a nice kind of, how would you say, approach to covering all gaps within one's bag, from category 1 player up to kind of category 3.
Different weighting systems really separating each head.
Yes, yeah, 100%. Naturally speaking, with a fairway wood, we want to position that weight within reason far back off the face, and that's going to help with that addition of launch. But also, it's their loft story within the three heads is quite unique as well. So, like, they're carrying 11 and 9 woods again, which is really kind of exciting, because definitely we're in a utility iron kind of era as much as a hybrid era of clubs. So to see that kind of loft story come back in with these fairway woods is quite interesting, because it brings a different approach for the individual on hitting, be it a second or third shot into a green, because now you can just change your whole launch conditions, and more than anything, it's your land angle can become a little bit steeper to actually hold the ball on the green. So whilst you're advancing the ball with this stronger, more robust, faster club, you're actually having the opportunity of making it work into your window of performance, so that you can actually have the opportunity of holding a green.
Loft is key with this product, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I know we'll get into the reasons now in a second as to why, but like, with so many options, don't, like, the one bit of advice that, for me, experiencing hitting these, like, and you know, you'd be okay with your 3 wood, what I'm gaming, like the 5 wood in this will be, as you need the loft.
100%. When you add energy to any piece of equipment, you need to be able to have certain launch conditions to be able to optimize that.
Yeah.
As I said before, energy and speed is fantastic, but if you don't have the launch and flight conditions behind it, it's a lost kind of strength, you know. So I think upon the golfers getting fitted, it is definitely the outlet's remit to have the full array of loft options in this fairway wood, because you can't look past potentially putting a 9 wood in the bag.
11 woods.
An 11 wood to maybe not even having that approach before, because again the performance for that individual will kind of lead them down that route potentially.
Callaway were known for this back. We go back to the day,
Heaven woods.
Heaven 11 and Divine 9 and stuff like that. But don't be afraid to literally go. Like if your favorite club in the bag is like 7 iron, there's nothing stopping you stopping it there.
Yeah.
And hybrids and fairways from there up. Like a lot of players are doing it, and like, there's nothing to be ashamed of.
No, as I always say, fit for purpose.
Yeah.
You know, like we're not here to fit as to what maybe the industry is conveying in a bag setup. We're all individuals, and like there's people out there, there's golfers out there who just dislike the shape and the performance of what a hybrid does. So some people are actually lost in this category because they might have a 7 wood or an old 9 wood that they might have for a certain amount of time that they're not getting rid of because they just haven't found a superior product to fill that void, you know.
The main reasons, and I suppose summing this up, the main reasons we mentioned earlier, bat wing technology. The main reasons for this, so your jailbreak bat wing.
Yeah,
like
it just sells itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, but what is it? What, like, we know it in the drivers.
Yeah.
Why does it work so well in the fairways? Why is it so different, so stable, and why are these things just absolute rocket launchers compared to anything else out there in the market?
Yeah. So when you push that structure out to the perimeter of the club, it just offers so much more stability. Like every face, when we make contact with the ball with metal woods, will deflect. So ultimately that's deflecting into that space, and it's just reacting in such a faster way to what other kind of manufacturers may do. So it's the reaction, ultimately the deflection of the face, should I say, that's given that energy, and coining it in a bat wing approach is kind of unique in itself, you know. But it just shows the story and evolution that AI jailbreak technology is going through, and it's not stopping at driver. It's now merging into fairway wood, which is, I think, is really cool. And as golfers, we're all looking for and seeking extra performance. And I tell you what, like, manufacturers are stepping up now to do it, and Callaway is definitely in that discussion now, there's no question.
Callaway have been doing this for the last 3-4 seasons, really creeping up performance-wise in the fairway wood category, and like smashing everything that's around it. Paradym just takes it to another level of forgiveness, stability, workability, looks, feel. Like, I've never picked up a fairway that I've just said, oh my God, like this, like it's straight in the back.
Yeah, like the let alone the kind of the flight change and just the overall energy off the face is quite cool. It's something to behold, because it is a game changer in that sense. And as I said, when you get the right kind of loft performing for the individual, it's just going to give a whole different dimension of performance. And I think if I was looking at the key thing that has changed within this range from Callaway fairway wood wise, it's the shallowness of the face.
Yeah.
Because your golfers looking for their fairway wood to be kind
drawn to it.
Very versatile, 100%. And even that player who might be just on the cusp of just lacking a little bit of confidence, not really kind of getting that overall performance that they need from a 3 wood, you'll start getting it with a shallow face. So like in my fittings, anytime I introduce a shallow face to the individual, whatever it may be, it's just easy, you know? So like the profile is key in this sense. So I think as much as there's a great tech story within the fairway, I just think the simplest thing that they've got right is the profile and the depth of the face, or the shallowness of the face.
Yeah. So where would this fit in the spectrum for you? Like, was this something you'd game?
The big thing that this is offering, it's offering an individual who has probably had a 3 wood in the bag for quite a long time and has just not really
We're
shifted.
reluctant to shift our tree wood is it's an awkward
It
tool in the
is.
bag.
It's a very kind of
You stick with it.
yeah, like when you find something, you just keep it.
Yeah.
And particularly tree wood or whatever other kind of fairway wood in that bracket. But I have to say, if the golfer was obviously there's certain categories of player looking for different things from it. So for me, the triple diamond, a little bit more workability, a bit better feedback while still retaining energy. The Paradym itself, that overall player is just looking to advance the ball. I call it a chase and flight. Like a chase and flight for me is something on par 5, 3-shot hole, you're just looking to advance it. Some players might be able to approach it in 2. You get the right configuration aloft, you have that opportunity. So I just think that this is definitely a generation of club that the golfer should test and try against what they've kind of fallen back on for potentially so long.
And compared to anything else that's out there this year in the fairway category, in all the testing that we've done and all the numbers and all the data we've compiled, this is head and shoulders.
It's the fastest.
It really is the fastest, isn't it? And like you hate pinning your colours to a mast so early in the season, but there is reasons behind it which we went into on the tech side of things, but nothing compares to this that's out there available at the minute.
Like in the course of a fitting, when you can put your hand to a product and you know that there's energy in it to start with, that's a lovely base to kind of work off. And I'm not talking about just gains all the time. I'm talking about when you're able to give the golfer something that has that little bit more energy within it, it gives a fitter a little bit more workability in potential loft options, shaft length, shaft weight options. So having that at hand is pretty outstanding.
All right, so there you have it. Big claims, bold claims, but all justified from Callaway with the new Paradym fairways. They are available now, like we said, 3 different heads, 3 totally different player characteristics, but all fitted with batwing technology. Serious performers. So if you are looking to get rid of your game, or like we said, it's very hard to get off 3 wood. It's a club that fitters like Mark see in the bag, that guys could be gaming 10-year-old, 15-year-old 3 woods just because they like it. Do have a look at these because they are serious performers, not to be overlooked. And for 2023, yeah, there's nothing more to say. Only Callaway have absolutely smashed it when it comes to fairways.